What up YouTube? It's your boy Double M, and I'm coming back at you with another tutorial. Okay, so in this tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to draw the head, but the basic stuff. Now some of you may know that I've already done this tutorial, and you're wondering, why am I doing this tutorial again? Well, you see, as an artist, when you're growing as an artist, you improve, you find new ways, new tricks. You basically improve, right? So in this tutorial, I'm going to revisit drawing the head and show you those new tips and tricks that I have learned. And not because the original video was taken down by YouTube. If you're not new and you have watched a couple of my tutorials, you know that this is the part of the tutorial where we analyze the shapes that are in what we are learning to draw today. What we're learning to draw today is the head. I've done this tutorial before, like I said before, but the head has a special shape. So I want to illustrate that shape, how that shape looks first. So you're first going to start off with a circle. Then after that, you're going to have a couple of contour lines, two contour lines. One that wraps vertically around the circle and another one that wraps horizontally around that circle. The reason why they are contour lines, the reason why they should wrap around the circle, because wrapping around the circle, it gives the circle more dimension and actually makes it a sphere. Because as artists, we don't want to be constructing these shapes as 2D shapes. Constructing them as 3D shapes helps us to properly understand everything from lighting and shading to what you are actually drawing. So remember, constructing the shapes for whatever you're drawing, have 3D shapes instead of 2D shapes. To make the shape have a 3D feel, have these contours wrap around that shape. The reason why these two contour lines are very specific is because each line serves somewhat of a purpose. So these two contour lines are very important. The first one, the one that comes downwards vertically wrapping around the circle, that's the center line. That shows the direction the character, the head is facing. Right now, the character is looking towards our left. So looking towards their right and our left. That's the center line. And then we have the eye line, the one that's actually wrapping across. Now the function of this line is in the name of this line. It shows where the eyes are sitting on the face. So right now this sphere for the head is supposed to be looking at our left but a bit below us, like something is on the left of our elbow or on the left of our wrist. So in this sphere we have the vertical line, the center line wrapping around the circle vertically, showing the positioning of the face, whether they're looking to their left or to their right. And then we have that eye line coming across, coming horizontally, wrapping around this circle, showing where the eyes are sitting. But to resemble the head, this shape isn't finished yet. What we need to do to this shape to resemble the head, because right now this is somewhat a perfect sphere, and we know that the human head is not a perfect sphere. So to make this sphere perfectly resemble the shape that is observed in the head, we need to grab our blades and we need to slice off the two sides of the sphere. After cutting those sides off, you'll see we have a sphere with two generally flat planes on each side. After throwing in a vertical and a horizontal line on this flat plane, this is the shape that is observed in the head. And you may be wondering, what's up with the flat planes? Let me show you why. Here's why. Looking at the head straight on in front view, it is not a perfect sphere. We have those planes where the ears sit. You can even feel right now on your own head. Feel where your ears sit, the side of your head. It's a generally flat plane. Yes, everyone doesn't have the exact same head shape. Some heads will be rounder than others, but we all have that flat plane on the sides of our heads. So this is the shape to observe in the head. I don't know what we're gonna call it. Maybe we just call it the head shape. It's that sphere with the center and the eye line. The center line showing whether the character is looking left or right, and the eye line showing whether the character is looking up or down, and the cut planes on each side of the head. Now, after analyzing everything with the head shape, what's left is the jaw, the rest of the actual head, the jaw, which in this tutorial is just going to be an extra couple of lines. We're just going to keep things simple now. basic begin tutorial. I'm gonna have more tutorials in the future, giving you more depth on how to properly achieve this jaw shape. But for now, I'm gonna show you how to throw in a couple of lines to draw that jaw shape. But before we do that, I want to show you the differences that the jaw will have in between males and females. Now, I've said this in many tutorials before, looking at many differences between the males and the female. The male's body parts will generally be more bulkier and have more definition, which is the exact opposite for the females. Less bulkier and less definition, more slender and softer look. That's the exact same thing for the jaw. In a male's jaw, we have a more bulkier look. We have a more jagged, bulkier, bigger look. For the females, it's a more softer, slender, smaller look. It's like the jaw in a male almost looks like it has more angles, more edges than a female's jaw. That doesn't mean a male cannot be drawn with a female's jaw. This just shows the masculine and the feminine attributes. If you want to, in whatever you're drawing, you can draw a man with a feminine jaw. Just make sure to by yourself see these differences. A man is going to have a more angular jaw with somewhat of a bigger, thicker chin, and a female is the exact opposite, a smaller chin with almost a rounder jaw. They still have somewhat of a jawline, but if you compare the two, the females is a bit rounder and a bit smoother. Before we go deeper into this tutorial, I want to remind you, if you're enjoying the video so far, if you're learning a lot from this video so far, make sure to drop a like, and while you're down there, hit the subscribe button so you become a member of the Double Empire. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you how to draw the head in a front, side, and a 3/4 view. For the beginner's sake, we're just going to start with these angles. But make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you've hit the subscribe button. Make sure you're part of the Double Empire so you can get notified of when I have another tutorial show you how to get more complex angles when drawing the head. But for now, make sure to grab that pencil and paper and draw that head shape looking straight at you for the front view. Start off with a circle, start off with a sphere if you have to. Then physically erase the sides so you have those cut planes, and then have the center line going vertically down and the eye line going vertically across this head shape. Now that's for the head shape. What you want to do for the jaw is, firstly, take that center line, extend it, pull it down a bit so that it goes down past the head shape. And at the bottom of that center line, draw the line for the chin so that, and listen carefully, the space in between the eye line and the bottom of that head shape is 2/3, and the space between the bottom of that head shape and your chin is 1/3. Now take note, it doesn't have to be like this every single time you draw a head. For generally rounder heads, you can have that chin closer to the bottom of that head shape. And for generally longer heads, you can have the chin further away from the head shape. But now it's just a golden rule. The space from the eye line to the bottom of that head shape is 2/3, and the space from the bottom of the head shape to the chin is 1/3. Now, after properly plotting the chin, where the chin is sitting, what you want to do is, from the flat planes on the sides of this head shape, you want to have two small lines coming from the planes of the head. And then from those lines, draw lines connecting them to the chin. And there you have it. You have the human head drawn in a front view, looking straight at you. Now this is just the outline of the head. What I like to do is, to know where the eyes are sitting, I will draw eye sockets. Usually where the center line and the eye line cross, where the center line and the eye line intersect, I will have one eye socket sit right in the center there, and then the two eye sockets sit on the sides there, so that I know the perfect positioning and the perfect size of the eye sockets. Next, we have the side view. Now that we're looking at the head shape from the side, we're gonna keep that circle shape. We're gonna keep that sphere shape. It's because looking at the front, you're gonna have those cut planes, making it not look like a sphere. But now that we're looking at the sides, we're looking straight at those cut planes, where the head shape is going to be somewhat of a, not perfect, but it's gonna have that circular, it's gonna have that sphere look. So for the head shape, you're going to draw a circle, then you're going to draw a smaller circle in that circle for the flat plane on the side of the head. Then you're going to have that vertical and horizontal axis on that flat plane. The horizontal line is actually the eye line, but it's like seen from the side. The vertical line just helps us keep the center of the plane in mind. This head here is looking to our left, so you want to draw their center line on the exact left of this head shape, and plotting the chin, keeping the same thing in mind when drawing the chin for the front view. The space from the eye line to the bottom of the head shape is 2/3, and the space from the bottom of the head shape to the chin is 1/3. Now that you have plotted your chin, what you want to do is, you see that part where the vertical line on that flat plane meets the edge of that flat plane at the bottom. You want to draw a line, a small line coming from that intersection from the jaw, and then from that small line, draw a line connecting it straight to the chin. The other good thing that comes to drawing the vertical and the horizontal axis on the flat plane of this head shape is that it helps us plot the ear perfectly on the head. This vertical and horizontal axis on the flat plane of this head shape divides that flat plane into quarters, and the ear sits on the bottom right quarter, right on top of that vertical axis. After that, you can plot your eye socket with a triangle. Make sure not to plot the eye socket right on the edge of the circle. Give it a little space and then draw that triangle for the eye socket, and then you can plot the other shapes for the other body, for the other facial parts. Make sure to check out my other tutorials for those other facial parts. Then lastly, we're gonna draw the 3/4 view. What you gotta do now is you have to draw that head shape with the center line a little bit off to the side, with that eye line going across the circle, going across the sphere, cutting it in half. Then you gotta draw like an oval on the other side of the circle for that flat plane of this head shape, and that horizontal and vertical axis on that plane. Next up, plotting the chin. The same way you plotted the chin for the front view and the side view is the exact same way you're gonna plot the chin for the 3/4 view. Extend that center line that it comes past the circle, past the head shape, and then plot the chin so that the space in between the eye line and the bottom of that head shape is 2/3, and the space in between the bottom of the head shape and the chin is 1/3. And then you're gonna have a small line coming from where the vertical axis on the flat plane meets the edge of the flat plane. You wanna have a small line coming from that intersection, and from that small line, draw a line connecting it directly to the chin. Now that's one side of the jaw. Now if we do the same thing for the other jaw in a 3/4 view, you're gonna have a funky looking jaw. For the 3/4 view, what you gotta do instead is that small line. Remember that small line you drew coming from the from where the vertical line on the flat plane meets the edge of the flat plane at the bottom there. Remember that small line right there? You have to draw that exact same line coming from where the eye line and the edge of this whole head shape meet. And then from that line, draw a line connecting it straight to the chin. And there you have it. That's your head in a 3/4 view. Don't forget to keep in mind the positioning of the ear. Remember, in that quarter, in that bottom right quarter of the flat plane. And the eye socket method coming from drawing the face in the front view. Have that eye socket, that first eye socket, sitting where the center line and the eye line intersect, and then 2 eye sockets on the left and right of this center eye socket. And that's it. That's a basic introduction to drawing the head. If you enjoyed the video so far, make sure to drop a like, and while you're down there, make sure you've hit the subscribe button so you'll be notified, so you will be able to get the next video, the next tutorial that comes out. I'm gonna give you more on the head and how to think when drawing the head. But in the meantime, make sure to check out my other videos, make sure to check out my other tutorials, make sure to check me out on my IG and my Twitter. The links are waiting for you down in the description. God bless, and until next time, double them out.